We are back talking about walking today. So if you are doing the walking challenge, phenomenal. If you're interested in doing the walking challenge, it's never too late to start. You can start now, even if you're listening to this March 29th, 30th. It is until March 31st. I'll give you a bonus point for starting late because it's better to start late than never. If you're listening to this on time within a couple days, cool, awesome. Share this podcast and I'll also give you a bonus point for the walking challenge. So this is going to be dropped March 1st. I'm recording this February 27th. And I love doing walking challenges. I think it's a great way to get people back in touch with the art of walking, the skill of walking. It is life. Without movement, there is no life, at least for us. And we do take for granted walking. I have clients who have a hard time walking, two in particular, and especially the one, it's because of an injury. He had a bad fall, he slipped, hit his head, and his foot has drop foot. Just building up some strength and the skill of him walking has dramatically impacted his quality of life, where he can actually play with his grandkids a little bit better, and he can get around his daughter's house without his walker. That's phenomenal. And I've had my own injuries, knee injury, hip injury. My mom's dealing with an injury. Who hasn't dealt with an injury? And when you can't walk, you can't move, it sucks. I think I was bed rest for 3 weeks when I had my ACL surgery. I'm 19, obviously I'm gonna bounce back. It was mentally draining to lay in bed all day. And when was the last time we truly appreciated walking? Probably when you couldn't walk. I want you to think about the last time you took walking for granted. And it's such a simple thing, and everybody can do it. Everyone can benefit from it. Everybody can complement walking into your current fitness routine, whether you're into F45, CrossFit, yoga, or you just want to walk a little bit more. There's so many cool fitness success stories of some people who all they did was just focus on their steps and a little bit of what they were eating, and they ended up losing weight. And I think that's how powerful it is literally one step at a time. So I think we don't appreciate the art and the science of walking, how often we can actually incorporate walking into our everyday life, and how adding an extra 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 steps gives us massive benefits. For those who are already walking a lot, it's appreciating the beauty of walking. I'm in Buenos Aires right now. I have limited data, so I don't really use my data too much when I'm out walking, and so I'm not on my phone, and so I'm actually enjoying the sun and the weather and people watching rather than being stuck on my phone. I know it's a bad habit, but I'm definitely way more on my phone when I'm back home, especially when I'm out walking. So I would also recommend you try to be off your phone. Yeah, of course, if you're going to listen to this podcast, audiobooks, music while walking, great. But maybe go for a walk with a friend and appreciate the moment that you're out and about doing stuff. Again, walking isn't just exercise. It can be a tool for connection, longevity, and even self-mastery if you are trying to add more walking into your life, right? We're going to dive into some of the science, some strategies, and just literally the soul of walking, why it's so underrated as a superpower. When I first became a personal trainer, I didn't think walking was a great exercise. I did not have it as a big focus. Walking, everybody can walk. Even getting to the gym to just walk, I think, is a good barrier to people who are scared to go to the gym. I think it's a great place to start with a lot of people who are trying to get into their a good fitness routine. It's like, okay, a little bit of strength training with me, and now let's focus on walking, because I know you can do walking on your own, right? Walking is like a little love letter to your heart. It actually strengthens your heart a decent amount. It's a lot of blood flow, and it lowers your risk of heart disease, right? Just that's the basic study. I took some. Just even walking 30 minutes a day can lower your risk of heart disease by about 20%. Just 30 minutes. And it's insane how it's so simple. Most of us probably do walk 30 minutes. You'd be surprised how many people don't. I have had some clients where they're like, oh yeah, I work from home. I take 2,000 steps a day. Are you shitting me? Okay, that's something to work on. Now, in their situation, sometimes it's like, hey, I don't necessarily always want to get my steps in. Can I just go on a stationary bike? Yeah, of course, that's fine. Obviously, there's other benefits to that too, and that's a good way to supplement it, but I'd rather increase their step count than their cardio count especially if they're that low of steps to begin with. But I'll take what I can get. I think we can put aside crash diets and punishing workouts. Walking is the original sort of fat burner because it's super low impact, it's super sustainable, it's very joint friendly. It actually burns more calories than you think compared to running. Yeah, running is going to burn more, but running might not be as sustainable. Running is just more intense. But it's hard to put into context how much more benefit and how much further you'll actually go if you do walk. Because if you exert this HIIT workout for 20 minutes and then you just sit on your ass for the rest of the day, you're not going to burn nearly as many calories as if you just got up and walked a bit throughout the rest of the day. And it's the accumulation effect that you can get, not 24 hours a day, but 16, assuming you sleep 8 hours. It's also just therapy. Most people will feel better after they've gone for a walk mentally, right? It clears your head, it boosts your mood. I think it's Ryan Holiday that says, no matter what state you're in, if you go for a walk, there's a good chance you're going to feel in a better mental state afterwards. Something along those lines, right? And it's a prescription for mindfulness, happiness. There's been many times I feel a little depressed, a little anxious. I go for a walk, I feel better, even if it's not the best weather outside. It helps me a lot more when it's great weather, especially in March. And that's why I thought this would be a cool challenge to do in March, especially for those in Canada where the weather's not the best. It is a good reason to then get outside and enjoy false spring, right? Some of those days where it's a little sunny, and to push yourself outside even when you don't want to go outside. Walking is going to release endorphins, reduce cortisol, for example, and that's just, again, kind of like it's a medication, but it's not. And again, unlike running, walking is friendly to your joints, right? Without the wear and tear, especially if you don't have good running form. By all means, you can run if you know how to run. Most people don't know how to run without chronic knee, ankle, hip pain. But most people can walk without that chronic pain, right? And if you want to live longer, just walk more, right? Studies, again, will show that it adds years to your life. It's the closest thing we have to the fountain of youth. Combined with strength training, for sure, you're going to get a great fountain of youth in that aspect. Again, it's the perfect challenge. It's a great equalizer. There's no gym, so you don't have to worry about gym membership. There's no barrier to entry. There's no gear. There's no excuses. It's free. It's everywhere. It's always open for business. And it's inclusive. You're a couch potato marathon runner. Walking can meet you where you're at, and then we can scale it up, right? And that's part of this too. Obviously, in this challenge, you're going to be walking against me. But in the end, if you still can't keep up with me, 100% fine. Focus on you versus you then. It is fun to have a little bit of competition too. So if you're finding it's a little bit out of your reach, no worries. Just do it for the community aspect and keep going with it. And there's a sustainability aspect to it too. Unlike fad workouts, right? Walking is a habit you're supposed to carry for life. It's not about intensity, it's about consistency, right? Now, here's some couple tips and tricks for your walking success. Start small, start simple, aim for 10 minutes at a time. Maybe you build that in a couple times throughout the day. Remember that the consistency beats intensity everywhere. Maybe you park your car further away from the grocery store, obviously taking the stairs instead of the elevator.